So, you guys, this just happened, and I want to talk about it. I want to talk about Megan's inclusion in the Time 100 Summit and Gala. I want to talk about the entrance they made and the speech she gave. Let's get into it. But before we begin, here's the intro. Welcome to Revealing the Narc. Join me as I highlight narcissistic traits in celebrities and public figures. Everything here is in my opinion and not professional advice. If you enjoy the analysis, please like and subscribe. Okay, everyone, let's get straight into it. What is the Time 100 Summit? So, this is a public facing conference arm of the Time 100 brand. So, you can think of it like a TED Talk meets corporate branding. There are panel discussions, keynotes, and in quotation marks, curated thought leaders. And it's all attached to the Time 100 brand. Megan has been chosen to speak there, and we'll get back to this in a minute. One of the people on the 2025 Time 100 list is Blake Lively, and the primary reason cited is that she gave a $2 million donation. Actually, she and Ryan Reynolds made a $2 million donation to the NAACP Legal Defense Fund back in 2019. Now, never mind their history of where they got married, take all that aside. This is pay to play. They paid $2 million, they gave $2 million, and that is the reason why they're on the list, or Blake is on the list. And actually, if you look at the website, you'll see that Ryan Reynolds actually gave a talk there. His talk was titled Ryan Reynolds on the disappointing box office result that taught him the most valuable lesson. Now, Megan has been asked to speak there, but she's not on the list. So let's talk about why Time would do this invitation independent of money, allegedly, and why would Megan accept? So, Time 100 or Time Magazine or whoever probably thinks that Megan is going to bring headlines and buzz. They might want to look like they're still relevant by inviting Megan and letting her speak. And by not putting her on the list, they're not completely aligning with her. Ultimately, I think that the award wouldn't land, but that the speech will still trend. And what it tells us is that they believe she's marketable, but she's not worth any public accolades or merit. And really, to be on the Time 100 list, I don't think that these are necessarily people that have changed the world. And probably it has more to do with knowing the right people, pitching the right story, or, you cut a check, allegedly. And why would Megan accept? I mean, I have never seen a microphone that Megan has turned down. So, number one, they're going to give her a microphone. So, of course, she's going to show up. Ultimately, she is putting herself near power in her mind next to CEOs, tech leaders, social entrepreneurs, and people who are thought to be world changers. She's also trying to show that she's still relevant. Her public image has taken hits, we all know. And it's almost like she's saying, see, I'm still being invited to global summits. I'm still a voice that matters. And again, this is brand reinforcement as usual. And just to show you how this is brand reinforcement, this is the article in the Telegraph. It says, I love my flower sprinkles, even though they were mocked, says Megan. So she's invited to this summit and she talks about her flower sprinkles. This article goes ahead and says the Duchess of Sussex has defended her passion for edible flower sprinkles, joking that she had been portrayed like a little fairy tossing them around all the time. Who has portrayed her like that? If someone can make that meme, that would be great, of her sprinkling flowers everywhere like a little fairy. It looks like they're introducing her as the founder of As Ever, and her talk was called Her Journey. This title is actually so revealing. Her journey, it's vague, it's self-referential, and it's emotionally loaded. It's all classic Megan branding. Her journey to what exactly? A podcast flop? A soft launch jam preserve spread that sold out allegedly? This is not about her impact. It's not about her innovations. It's about her path, because that's the most important thing that she can talk about. It used to be that Time 100 Summit was about influence that moves through the world, scientific breakthroughs, activism, journalism, and politics. And here we are, we have a 15-minute session for someone trying to pitch jam and give curated parenting sound bites. It's not thought leadership, it's performative vulnerability dressed up as meaning. And being introduced as the founder of As Ever, what does that even mean? The product line is barely available. There's no real clarity on what the brand does. And this is just another example of her doing something to try to build her image. Ultimately, this is about narrative and not impact. It's about feelings and not facts. It's about visibility and not verifiable influence. And as for Time 100, we can see how it's shifted from a summit of substance to a summit of optics. Okay, so let's get into the speech itself. I'm going to pause it and give commentary as we're going through. So let's start.
All launching really at the same time.
So she starts off by saying 3 projects that were really launched at the same time. This is classic Meghan. I'm so booked, I'm so busy. She's trying to look like a creative businesswoman managing multiple empires. But what are the projects? Vague, unnamed, undefined. The point isn't what she's doing, it's that she's trying to say that she's doing a lot. It's not narrative building and it's not transparent. Let's continue.
Behind the scenes for the past year and a half have been incredibly busy and ambitious.
Okay, this behind the scenes thing, this is a pattern I've seen with Meghan. She says this all the time. So this is mysterious behind the scenes, right? If you've ever wondered where the results are, don't you worry. It's all just happening in secret. This is another example of her being selectively transparent, shared just enough to seem relatable, but never enough to have any accountability. This immediately launched me into the Fab4 interview that happened in February of 2018. This was 3 months before Harry and Meghan got married. I'm going to be doing an analysis of this because there's so much to unpack. I've done a part 1 several months ago. I'll link that in the description of this video, but I'm going to show you a short clip and you see the parallels between the speech she's giving here and the one she gave in 2018.
For me, it's very important to, once you hit the ground running, even if you're doing it quietly behind the scenes, which is what I've focused my energy on thus far, is meeting with the right people, meeting with the right organizations behind the scenes quietly.
Completely vague. You can't question her. Who are you meeting with? Who are these right people? What are you doing behind the scenes? What are you doing to prepare yourself to hit the ground running? It's just completely ambiguous, and the goal is to avoid accountability. Let's go back to the speech.
But to see it all come to life and try to give yourself the space and the grace to make mistakes, to know.
Okay, so she says to try to give yourself space and grace to make mistakes. This part is strategic. She's pre-framing failure. If the podcast flops, if the product line doesn't sell, this is all part of her journey. It's not humility, it's image insulation. It's baking forgiveness into the brand launch just in case. We know Meghan does not stay accountable to anything. She does not take any responsibility for her failures. So this is complete posturing. Yesterday, I did a video about an article that had just come out. I think it came out yesterday, actually, about how she never really liked American Riviera Orchard name anyways, that it's just word salad. And she always had a love for the name As Ever. I'll link that in the description of this video too. But it's just, it just shows you the message she wants the public to see because she's reinforcing the message from yesterday. And actually, her saying American Riviera Orchard was just word salad, this was from her podcast episode that was released yesterday. So you can see she's really trying to push this narrative. Okay, let's continue.
Know that you're not going to get it right every day. And at the same time, to prioritize what we're going to put out as our next tranche of SKUs as equally important to me as Archie losing his first tooth.
So I think this is another example of Meghan trying to posture and make herself, she's using jargon, right? She's using words that the ordinary person, like I've never heard of a tranche of SKUs. I've never heard of, I mean, I know what SKUs are, but I've never heard of your next tranche of SKUs. That's not something you say when you're trying to open up and connect with a wide audience. That's something you say when you're trying to sound impressive to investors. It breaks the illusion, the mask slips, and underneath you're seeing here in real time that it's strategy and not sincerity. Okay, let's finish up this clip.
As equally important to me as Archie losing his first tooth this week, which is about to happen, and I just hope we're back home in time for it.
And there's the cherry on top. So, dropping this statement right after talking about a SKU rollout, it doesn't feel heartfelt. It feels curated, as if she's saying, "Don't worry, I'm still relatable. I'm a CEO and a mom. Look at me juggle it all." There is absolutely no vulnerability to her. Like she said earlier, to try to give yourself space and grace to make mistakes. But everything she says is curated, is to make her look like she's perfect. None of it is real. It's all smoke and mirrors. So, what are we watching here? I see a woman trying to be Oprah, Gwyneth, and Princess Diana all at once. It's image management with a side of motherhood and a sprinkle of branding. It's conditional vulnerability, the kind that protects her brand while pretending that she's bearing her soul. So, I am going to ask you all a really funny question. So, drop your hypothetical answers in the comments. But what do you think the tooth fairy is going to bring to Archie when he loses his tooth? I'm going to say it's her flower sprinkles. Okay, now let's get to the last part of this video. I'm going to show you their entrance into the TIME100 Summit, and I have a couple of comments about it. So I'm going to start by playing the video in full and then telling you what my impressions are. So let's get into it.
Guys, please don't block her, please, please. Security,
Hi,
don't push.
Meghan.
Security, don't push your hands, sir.
Hi, Meghan. What are we here, Meghan?
Why are you pushing your hands, sir?
Okay, so the first thing I notice, all of this security, and it just looks like there's two women waiting on the left. There doesn't appear to be any barricades holding people back. So again, it's an illusion. It's smoke and mirrors. The next thing I notice is that Harry looks pretty stressed out. And you'll see that Meghan goes in to hug that woman, and Harry's just kind of left out. To me, it looks like Harry actually gets there first. Let's watch it again. Like, to me, it looks like Harry should be the one to go in for the hug first, but Meghan, as usual, jumps in front of him. And you'll see that right there again, just zoomed up. Harry doesn't even say hello to that woman. So, see, Harry doesn't even acknowledge that woman as they walk away. Meghan is so excited to just talk to her adoring crowds. And you'll see Harry tries to go in to hold her hand or grab her, but she is just so excited to see the people. His hand ends up just waiting in the air and eventually on his abdomen. All right, everyone. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please tell me all your thoughts in the comments. If this was interesting to you, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you'll know every time I drop a new video. I want to thank you all so much for listening, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye, everybody.